Okay guys, in this video actually we are going to learn how to delete a row from our database, and this is going to be super simple. And then we are going to learn how to read one and multiple actually rows from our database, and that's going to be simple too. However, let's go and write it. As I told you, we can always approach the same the same actually route with multiple actually we can just copy that because I cannot both write the code and talk. Well, actually, as I told you, we can simply just approach one single URL using multiple methods, actually using delete, post, pass, and get. If you're asking yourself, what the fuck, bro, we read that we need to use put method for updating. However, this is some conflict that I saw in this documentation, and there is no real response. However, there is no difference as long as you are not using post. And even if you would like to use post, you can just change the actually route you want to use, and everything will be okay. There is no difference, and you can just do that. That's not a big problem, and that's all on you. You can use you can actually use any, even you can use delete you can use delete method to actually update your route, but that's on you. However, that's not really formatting, and that's not what actually operational brain will do. However, this is our delete route. We are going to receive our user ID in our route. We are going to get our user from our database, super simple, and that's going to be called user here too. And if user did not exist, we just say that user not found. That's simple, and we just call the user to be deleted. And as we just got a simple ID, user ID, and that's going to be super simple to do. There is no type conversion and things like that. And let's check our endpoints actually, and well, where's our delete? I need to where is our delete function? We got update, we got heroes, we got, dude, I don't seriously expected this. Okay, anyway, it seems like that needs some sort of refresh here, but we got our we can access actually our method here, super simple. And as you can see, it just uses colors to define our way. So I would like to remove, sorry guys, I ran into a problem with Snagit. However, this is going to be super simple, and I'm just going to send the ID of one of these guys, one of these pro guys. I'm going to send the ID of 9. However, guys, I really appreciate Fast API for this great documentation. Dude, if this was not the case, if we did not have access to such great documentation, I had to write all these. I had to write actually I needed to build a request for each one of these guys in Postman, which would be a real pain in the ass. And okay, we got this guy deleted, and as you can see, 8, 10, between actually 8 and 10 there is no 9, and that's because guys deleted. And now if I re-execute it, just says that user not found. Super simple. And now what if we want to read some model? I'm going to just copy this because I cannot just actually one moment. Sorry. Okay, I'm just going to copy that code, and I'm just going to change the app to router, and that's super simple. We got our user read here, and I'm going to, however, we had a method for it, but that's okay. User get user ID, and this user ID is going to be received here. However, oh shit, I was just working on the wrong guy. Okay, user ID is going to be received in our in our method, and that's going to be received in our function too, and we are going to get the user with such ID, and we are going to return the guy as a user read method, which I'm going to actually change this to user because I want the full detail of the guy and including the ID, and you can just use the user read. However, let's check this one out. I need to delete this and change this to get. Okay, let's refresh our documentations page, and this is right here. I'm going to try it out. I need the second guy, and this is going to be dude's JSON formatted identification. That is super simple. And the user read is just it. It is the base user plus the ID of the guy, and you can change whatever you want. I just want to say it, keep it even simpler, you know. Now if I execute it, we just get everything without the ID, and if we want the ID too, we can just keep it here. That is super simple. However, super simple, even more simple for the guy who is using this documentation, because our sweat and tear in writing this schema, actually this is really simple project. This is not even a project, this is just a bunch of code just added together. But when the project gets bigger, the guy who is using this documentation will be really thanking our sweat and tear. However, and let's go and see how can we get lots of lots of our users super simple in a file, in actually a list of, in a JSON list. I'm going to change this to all anyway, and I'm going to import the list from typing, and actually I'm going to import user read, and this is going to make our response as a list of objects in form of user read. Well, and I'm just going to import these these functions anyway. This is going to be a user. I need to import this query too, I believe. Where was it? Sorry, where was this guy came from? Well, the query came from the fast API itself. However, let's import it from the fast API, and things look really great. Doesn't seem like any error around here, and I will explain the code right now to you guys. And I believe I forgot to change the name for these functions, and as you know, that doesn't really affect the functionality, and that means that doesn't really fucking matter. Okay, let's see this function. This is actually route, which is something just like users slash all slash, that's it, actually with plus our base user anyway, base URL anyway. Oh fuck, base URL and our users slash all, and we are going to receive this here. Super simple. Okay, and the response model is going to be a list of user read objects, which is going to be something similar to this guy. Okay, that's it. And Now we are going to receive multiple other parameters too, which are not going to be received in our pass, which also could be received in our actually pass, and which we cannot just use that. This is going to receive something just like this of set equals 20 and limit equals 25, something just like this. Okay, that's it. And well, actually this is going to a type of query, super simple, and we are going to initiate a session from our engine, and this session is going to use this width, and we already know this, and users is going to receive using execution of a built-in actually function called select user with offset of, as we have said it, and with the limit of, as we have said this. Okay, offset is going to be the actual, if you have if you have actually 15 rows, offset is going to say, I don't know, to start from 4. If we set the offset to 3, I believe this is going to actually get from 4 till where, till actually we get the limit. And if the limit is going to be 10, it is going to count to 10 after the 3. Okay, that's super simple. That's it. And now let's go and check it out. I believe we are all set with this function. Give it a refresh, and that's it. Okay, in our users all, we are going to try it out anyway. I'm going to set the offset to 0 and the limit to 5 actually. I'm going to check what is going to be received here. That's super simple. We got from number 1 to 5. That is super simple. Now let's change the offset to actually 2. What the hell? And that's going to get from 3 to 7. As I told you, super simple. These are really just obvious things that people who work with APIs know that, and that's all it. And we can also increase the limit to 15, which is going to give us all of them. And as we got no more than 15, I think actually that's 14 items, and ID of 15 is the last one. It is going to get all of them. That's super simple. However, that's all we had to do for CRUD, and in next session and next part of this course we are going to learn how to work with authentications and JWT. Goodbye till next session.